friends. Here we go again. Bring my business. Yeah, okay. This is my last grad show. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but I'm going to be in St. Louis next week playing this big old tournament. So we'll see what happens then next week. So we'll leave that for the next week. Hopefully we'll make some kind of announcement. We're not doing this. We're doing this one. Yesterday we did the 0 to 1,000, and today we're doing the 1,000 plus. And we stopped here with NKM yesterday. And so today we got we got a long show actually. It seems like a long show anyway. Let's do it different today. Let's start at the top. Let's start at the top and work our way down. So this is Shaheen and Austin, Texas, 22 years old. Dude is crushing it. FIDE, follow. And they joined last year. I don't remember this person. In any case, kind of weird because they haven't done, there was nothing going on, and then they had a breakout moment over here. So anyways, I'm really pumped for anybody. You know, what I'd say a weakness of the dojo that we're working on is to get some higher rated. I'd say two weaknesses we have. We're doing great, but we have two weaknesses. One, we need more higher rated players like Shaheen using the program. And two, we need more clubs, both the scholastic teams like in America and then the clubs in Europe. We need to integrate those two factions into the dojo to make it work right. It's already working well, but to have it work even better. Okay, Shaheen, clubs. Austin Dojo. Austin Dojo, let's go click on that actually. There are some cool people there. We got Nose Knows All, Jack Stenglein, both those heroes of the dojo. Actually, Age White Cheddar, also a hero of the dojo. And then why is it not showing me Shaheen? That's weird. Maybe because, well, wait a second. Oh, there he is. There's our dojo. There's our guy right here. Boom. So, beautiful. If we go by normalized FIDE rating, Shaheen is number 3. That's how strong the Austin Dojo is, my friends. So I'm hoping those guys are all hanging out. That's a very strong, look at that. Look at that. We got loads of people. And they're doing the work, dude. Doing the work. Yes, sir. Okay. Super cool. Let's go back. And we got activity. Shaheen's been doing the work. Hopefully some games. Here we go. This looks like, it's okay, kind of curious because he's got a lower USCF, but a much higher FIDE. So we'll mark that. Hopefully we'll get some times. No times. A lot of time, well, with the over-the-board games, you have to manually put it in unless you're on a fancy, like, DGT board. Okay, all very normal. Pop, pop. Knight F3, Knight C6, castles. Now that looks like, well, it's at least questionable because you're allowing E4 now. Yeah. In general, I would say white needs to play D4 here or D4 right here. And, you know, you play Knight F6. I think there's a lot to talk about here because let's imagine here, here, and then we just want to ask ourselves, what is going on, man? Because it's hot. Now, I don't know if this move works, but if I was white, that would be the thing I would be scared of. Does it work? I don't know. But you'd have to start looking at this kind of thing. You know, I don't know. I'm just telling you I'm afraid. That's all I know. All I know is I am afraid. Okay, so Knight F6, D3. My Knight F6, by the way, you know, white has just done himself a disservice without playing D4. I still think, by the way, D4 is necessary. And then this is at least kind of a complicated position. Here, white is just worse. I don't know, fail to understand the point of this move. I agree. He's kind of lost his mind. I decided to play bishop e6 first instead of castling, although this may transpose. I was slightly concerned about queen b3, and then I can't get my queen to d7. Okay. We shouldn't be afraid of queen b3, I don't think. I mean, he hasn't developed his pieces. But okay, here we go. b4, that was his intent apparently. a6, bishop b2. And you talk about d4. In general, d4 is going to be the right move because you're killing the bishop on b2. But do we still believe in your position? Mostly. White needs to gather his soul together and play d4, knight e5. Okay. I like, in principle, I like what you're doing. That wasn't it. Stopping e4. On the other hand, was e4 really a thing, though? You know, if you just castle and they play e4 and you push, the bishop is dead. Bizarre. Okay. Rook c8, okay. Okay. And now it's a little curious what's going down here, because you play e4, and unless it's like crushing the guy, then we don't want to do it. Let's see how it goes down. So e4 takes. And it would seem, right, like pawn takes was your intention. Yeah, so you should put a question mark next to this. So DE4, this does look very strong because you're going to open the D file. I still have a couple questions, though, right? So imagine for a moment, takes, knight h4. And yeah, that's if you have that move, then that's very strong. But do you? Yes, it looks so. I guess you do. So g5 is a threat. There's no knight e4. Looking great. Okay. Now, maybe you had a tactical miss here with queen d5, but even so, this is such an improvement for their position because it would open up both the bishop and the rook. So for that reason, knight e4 is strange, even if you miss queen d5. Looks like a loss of tempo because he's going to have to spend a tempo taking that knight anyway. Okay, now we're definitely worse. I would say, well, rook takes d8 is lost. So he's getting fancy with rook c2. Because the rook takes d8, dude, phew, I mean, it's winning too with probably with what he did. Now you got some tricks going on. Simple chess. Toast. a4. Okay, you were hoping for rook b8. Yeah, I mean, it's all toast. That's fine. Resigns. Okay, there it is. I think there's a lot to learn about this. One, you're playing a standard 70. Well, actually, what I want is people who are lower rated to see about this player who is 1700. By the way, this is not like a ChessCom or Elite Chess 1700. This is a USCF 1700, so more or less legit. Notice the kind of mistakes White is making here. So kind of funky, definitely funky because it's allowing e4. And then a very soft move with d3. Now black is just better. right? We're on move 7. Black is already better. Again, not the greatest move. Not impressive. The knight's not actually going to do anything from there. Not the most impressive. So what I'm trying to say is, this is one of the things I've really preached, and I'm going to do a course about this called It's About, well, the one called It's About Time, and the next course is going to be called Time to Do What? And the point is that we get in these situations. I see this in every grad show. Once we're over 1,000, the guy's not hanging pieces, right? He's not hanging pieces, but he's hanging tempi. Hanging tempi all over the place. And then the question becomes, well, what do I do with that tempi, right? And there's a lot to talk about here. For one, do we really need to play h6? Probably not. You know, it's kind of a comfort move to play h6 because the knight kind of needs to go back anyway. And bishop g6, I don't know, it's kind of clever. But we don't really need to play. I mean, if we castle e4, d4, it's important to see that that bishop is toast. So these are the kinds of mistakes that they're going to make once you're above 1,000. So you could see somebody at 1,700 has some tactical skill, right? But still no understanding of the game. And what I mean by that is you just have some principles. Like, you're going to play better principled chess than chase. You know, you might lose tactically because the guy's maybe a genius or something, but no principled understanding of the game. Okay, let me check in on the chat and stuff. Who is this guy? He looks new on here. He's Kraai, the main man. Yeah, that's me. I got my rustic redneck shirt on today. I hope you guys liked it. The rustic redneck. And thank you for rating us. Normally we get nobody on here. So just the people actually who are graduating often come. This is the Chess Dojo training program. Boom. Me, Kostya, and David founded this thing. It is a beautiful sight, my friends. All right, let's go. Let's do another one over here. So it's about time to do what exactly? You got to figure it out. So I got to train it. So let's go to the next one. And he says, PLiveC says, trust the program. I want to right click him before I forget. Oh, disaster. See, that's why I've got to right click. PLiveC says, trust the program. I totally agree. Chess player and software engineer from Seattle. Look at this guy. Flying up, 1737. Has done the tactics test and the mate test. Done very well with it. Maybe a little bummer with the tactics test. I still need this up. And I'm going to just write this down. Dots for number of tests. It's just something for our tech people. Okay, so let's take a look. We got some clubs. No clubs. Activity. It's a nice one. I see, even if they don't, like, there is a Seattle dojo, for example, that PLiveC could join. Okay, maybe no games because it's not marked here. Let's see. Oh, we got loads of games. Peter the Pawn. That's right. I like that one. Peter Pawn. This one was played a while back. Let's see. All market is reviewed. And what we're definitely seeing here is this is a quick game, and his opponent is moving way too fast. Way, way too fast. All right, here we go. Little funky. Good move, c3. Now, this is actually kind of a tricky position because black needs to recognize that their knight is hosed here and that the white king is going to be strong on c2. And the correct move here for black is something not obvious. And that is, we need to fight for this. And so f5 is a nice move. Trying to get our bishop so that the king can't get there. Bishop e6, knight d2. A little weird, knight d2. Bishop h3, not a dumb move. Okay, not a dumb move. F3. For the moment, unnecessary to play F3. Was he really threatening to go to G5, though? I don't think so, right? Because you just have Rook D7. So we're going to call that a loss of tempo. King E2. Loss of tempo. So, my friends, listen. Listen. We got to slow down a little bit and think about what's going on. White is going to come for us on the queen side. And so the weakening ourselves over there isn't wise. What do we need to do? We need to bring our people out. Time to bring, like, knight F. If nothing else, we got to play knight F6. Good move. F6. Bishop B3. I think A4 might have been more testing. Kind of weird that he... Well, actually, it's kind of interesting. I still liked A4. Oh, I don't like this. He needs to play A4. And now here, don't you have knight B5? Knight B5 is annoying. And then you're the one in business. Notice, he's played all these dumb moves, but he has not fixed his knight. This is the kind of mistake we see at this level. Again, they're not going to hang stuff, but they're going to lose time. And now, notice your knight. Your knight on A7 was going to be a hero with knight B5, and now it's not going anywhere. Now, hard to know where the knight's going to go now. Knight F2, okay. So, white's a little better, and they need to think deeply about what the plan is here. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I would, if I was white, I would want to think about that decision for a little bit. B5. So, right. Yeah. Now, notice at this level, we've seen this a bunch. When people hit the end game, they get anxiety, and because you got to start doing some deep calculation. And this is definitely an impulsive move, B5. Black is probably going to need to play B6 to keep the knight out of C5, right? White has a little extra space. Maybe we can say they're a little better, But, not the end of the world. After this, we could conceivably be lost after A5. Let's see if white does it. Oh, bummer. Just A5, bro. And then what are we going to do? Oh, no. A5, trust me, that's not nice for Mr. Spice. This white's not thinking. Okay, so we're playing on. Weird. So when you play on, we'll take a moment here to think. How does knight A7 improve your knight? I don't know. So how about we play knight here? Excuse me. Knight here. If we need to, we can play C6. We can play knight E6. I don't know what knight A7 does. Okay, now we have ourselves a spicy little tension here. I was just reviewing a Karpov game yesterday, and there was a similar configuration, and it was honestly a little hard for me to understand because the assumption was that in this thing, white has a big advantage with this configuration. I think you might have to play. I understand H5, by the way. You don't want to face him playing H5 himself. Okay, but the point is, like, he holds the tension, and if you play HG, there's always FG, and the assumption is we're getting hosed there. So, yeah, very spicy momentito. It's especially worrisome for us because your knight on A7 is completely out to lunch. King E2 doesn't seem like that forcing of a move. The other piece of wildness that we have to recognize is at some point you might play g5 to really crack things open. I don't know. Okay, I could think about this position for hours. And the point is, if you're going to analyze the game, first of all, it helps to play a longer game because both players will have more time to think. Notice, your guy, he's not thinking at all. He's not thinking at all. You know, but knight f1, for example, would be at least with an idea with knight g3 and then force you to do something. Does it work? I don't know. We'd have to analyze it. King e2, I don't know where it's going. Good. I'm not sure where he's going. Again, I'm not sure. I think he's just moving. And now you go for it. Boom. And this is what white deserves for just sitting around all day long. Okay. GF, GF, King F2. I'm going to go ahead and make a case for F4. At least it's something that we need to analyze here. King F2. And definitely this would be our main question. Now, if we look knight g2, I mean, knight g2, you should just say to yourself, hey, hey, I'm doing great here because his knight just got chumpified. It just got totally chumpified. So whether you're winning or not, I don't know, but he's in a bad way. He is in a very bad way because there's no clear targets for him. You can play knight g6, and I don't know. You got a couple ways to hurt him. Yeah. And I like your thing, knight c4, e3. I have a feeling there's going to be more than that in terms of an idea because he is so passive now. Okay, great. So, P live C. Maybe some longer games, boss. And the end game is where it is happening. Okay, let's go back. Pop. I'll try to check in. By the way, my second monitor just died on me. So I have to check in with the chat, you know. I got to check in. All right. Immediate impulsive moves for intimidation. Yeah. Okay. So, just going to check in something here. Okay, great. Pop. We're going to continue here. Next up, we have Max Ing. I recently started my dojo journey right at graduate threshold, but decided to do study material, mainly reassess your chess first. For the next cohort, I will do more games and fix my dojo rating tests. Welcome to the dojo. Here we go. So we'll follow Max. Did a beautiful graduation. There's his tactics stuff. Looks like maybe hasn't done too much with the tests, as he said. And let's take a look at the clubs here. European Dojo, okay. Activity, we got a lot going on. As he said, maybe not so much on the games and analysis. Or excuse me, on the games and analysis, yeah. So games, we got one from Max Ing. Let's check it out. Market is reviewed. Here's our beautiful time graph. We're dealing with 45 plus 30. And, well, that's fair. I think it's a fair time graph. You can see, these time graphs are so great. You can see both sides basically felt as if they were in theory up to this point. We'll see if that's actually true. Then they started thinking, and then white is just zoned here. Maybe he was already lost, we'll see. But it suggests that he was already toast and he had given up the fight, you know, when someone flatlines like that. All right, here we go. A little weird to play knight e2, okay. Fine. Okay. A little funky, but all right. Well, it's got to be okay. It's a little weird. Now f4 happens. And I'm a little worried for you because f5 someday might really hurt us. So, ef, oh my gosh. So yeah, he was worried about knight c6, f5. I was too. I'm not sure how bad it is. It's kind of an interesting question. The reason it might not be entirely terrible is simply because white doesn't have any development going yet, you know. But is it scary? Absolutely. Okay, this is very scary too, though. Now we're just, looks to me like we have a bad position. The center, loss of center. I think that's a superficial move. He plays knight c4, knight f4, f3 makes more sense to me. And f5, good move. I like that move because we need to do something. We need to do something. And now he makes a mistake with ef5. And you note it as such, definitely a mistake. Because the whole thing with these pawns was that white had beautiful, more center control. And then after this, the pawn on f4 becomes isolated, you know, not so special. Takes a little bit of skill to play these positions, though. In general, we should be looking to play either knight g3 now or after h3. Probably after h3, because we don't want to deal with queen h4. Okay, so ef5. Now you're doing great. Fine. And now you play bishop e6. Queen d7 is also a thought. Now, if you don't like d4, you should tell us what do you think he should have done. My concern with this bishop e6 would be, I didn't want to give him that. You know, because think about it. This pawn, Federico, he's in the way of the rook and the bishop, and now with f5, he gets to solve all of those things. That's why I was at least my intuition was queen d7. I don't know. We still might have some grief here, actually, because knight f5, queen f5, knight g3 anyway. So actually, maybe our star move is something like that. Bam! Denying him that kind of business. Okay, so here we go. d4 does not look correct. He still needs to play f5. Okay. And now queen d7, you say you felt in complete control. You wrote white is clearly better, but I have a feeling you meant black is clearly better. And now you call the bluff. Makes some sense. Yeah, you're doing fine. Check to the miserable king. This isn't going to be nice. That's going to be game, huh? Look at that. So actually, one of the things we can say is that your opponent, let's go to move 20, right on the time. This was some of the most hairy stuff ever. And so what I want you to see, and this is something everyone needs to be aware of, whether you're a GM or a 1200, when you get exhausted like this guy did, and the position is one of the most hairy positions ever. Here, let's go to that most, this is hairy and scary. Here he starts flatlining. He's not thinking at all. He's not thinking at all, man. So you will see it in yourself, in your opponents. When this happens, it's somebody who has lost all of their juice. Okay? They lost all of their juice. It's rough when it happens. It happened to everybody, by the way. It happened to everybody. But especially in online games because people are distracted and there is some impulsive thinking going on. Okay. As promised, I'm going to just check in with the chat every time I finish a game. RKD Gaming, good evening to you too, my friend. Let's keep going. Next up, we have MindVoxel, who has graduated numerous times. And he says, I wrote an essay last graduation, so I will keep it brief this time with a single question. Jesse, can you recommend a good first tournament or club to join in the MD area? That's Maryland. I think I need to bite the bullet and play an OTB rated game, but the idea of playing in a huge tournament hall with a ton of people doesn't really appeal. If I can find a smaller club where we can play a weekly game, that would be ideal to me. No, we definitely. I'm much closer to DC than Baltimore, if that helps. Yeah, there is a DC league that you can play in. Cool teams. I played in it once pre-COVID. It's kind of hard for me to get down to DC, but that is a cool league. I think if you Google it, you'll find it, and honestly, great. Maybe, dude. With that DC league, we could get in all these leagues, but the idea would apply, especially this DC, just as an example with the DC league. There's enough dojo people in the area, you could form a dojo team, dude. That would be really awesome. They could have a scoreboard, and stuff. Fantastic. So that's my rec. There's also loads of great tournaments. There's a rapid tournament they play like 4 times a year here in Baltimore. That's super easy. And there's great tournaments. When I say great, I mean well run all the time. Maryland Open, Baltimore Open, that kind of thing. And just little day tournaments they have too. If you just look at uschess.org and the MSA, uschess.org/MSA, you'll find that. All right, here we go. MindVoxel, senior back-end web developer. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait a second. We're going to click here. Click. This is MindVoxel, and this is their channel. There he is right there. Super cool. He's got the road to 2,000. Very nice. How do I follow him here? See, it's weird. I can't even hit subscribe. Well, how do I follow the guy? See, I don't know. But we are going to check it out. Really cool. He's doing this. All right. Back to the front. Clubs. Maryland Chess Dojo. Let's go look. Let's go look. So if we go this way, so there I am with my rating that's fallen off the house. We got loads of good people though here. Loads of good people. There's MindVoxel. And MindVoxel, you should get together with Krabby Crab. He's around your rating. I would say that kid's underrated. He's a kid and stuff. That kid is going for it. He's got a blog to watch. Beloved Bookkeeper, she's got BKK Chess. Beloved Bookkeeper. BBK Chess, excuse me. BBK Chess on YouTube for Beloved Bookkeeper. She's got a cool YouTube channel, lives in Baltimore. Those would be people right around your rating that would be cool for you to work with. All right, let's go back. Pop. And then we're going to look at activity. Looks pretty good. And lots of time being done. Non-dojo stuff. Rapid. Okay. Like I said, those rapid tournaments in Baltimore. That if you were hesitant and you just wanted to have an interesting, fun tournament, just a day, non-committal, that would be a cool thing. Sam's always at that tournament. All right, here we go. This is Mindset by Dave. Boom. So, I already reviewed it though. Oh, Mindset. Buddy, what's going on? What's going on? These are ancient. Okay. So, next up is Mark Roddy. And he says, winning chess strategy was my favorite of this cohort's tasks. I also liked adding in some extra work on openings. You're allowed at 1400 do some opening work. I might be graduating a little early as I've only been in this cohort less than a month, but I have a 20-hour flight coming up this weekend, so I'm looking forward to get some fresh material to get stuck into. 20-hour flight. You could try raw dogging it, dude, on your flight. You could try raw dogging it. This sounds dumb. It's a dumb idea. So, great. And I think, again, if you graduate, you should graduate. The material is there for a purpose. Like, you are now improved. That's where you should be. Definitely, we want you to take some tactics tests, though. Oh, man. Yeah, we need to get that tactics score up. All right, here we go. Beautiful graph, by the way. Look at that. That's progress. Irish. Nice. In Dublin. I always thought it was the American guys who'd had a little leprechaun going on, but maybe it really is an Irish thing. Okay. Lots of work being done by Mark. Lots of work being done. Look at that. Dang. And we want to go back one cohort. And this is how they did it. Lots of endgame work, tactics, a little bit of opening, some middle games and strategy. This is great. Look at this. 48 hours. That's how he made it. Games. All right, let's do. You know what? I'm gonna try this one because it looks like a OTB game. Round 5 of my first OTB. Beautiful. Oh, I already did it, man. I already did it. Okay, wait. Let's do the next one then. So this is 30-0 on the old ChessCom. Market is reviewed. And reasonable time graph from both players. And here we go, Mr. Ruddy. He is playing a high-rated person there. Fancy. Bishop d6, a little weird. But it is principled in a certain sense. So maybe it's not going to lose by force. Maybe. So you castled. One question that I would have is, does DE crack him? Your move might be pretty good too. Let's try actually. Let me just say, I think in this position, DE would be interesting because that looks really unpleasant. Yeah. Now, I guess, though, he could play Bishop e5. Yeah, maybe he's going to live through that. Okay. So, Rook e1. And now they blunder. Boom. That ain't it, son. Bam. Bam. Very nice. Very nice. Kind of clever. That's not going to change anything, though. And now Bishop d5. And you say, I had Yasser Serouan's voice in my head here telling me to consolidate my position when ahead. I didn't want to get too greedy. Yeah, I think you can definitely take on d5. That isn't it, right? He's just losing tempi all over the place. Thank you very much. That isn't it. Fine. I guess Bishop d4 I like a little bit more. We lost a little time. We're still doing great. I really want you to play knight d2. Notice, on knight d2, it's good to kind of look at what you're afraid of, for example. So knight d2, you're afraid of bishop h3. Then we can play queen e4. Bam. Now, maybe we could be a little more afraid of this. You know, we're still playing queen. Actually, queen, yeah. No, I didn't want to allow that, you know. And on queen f4, we still do have to, we're still winning, you know. But it got a little more hectic than I wanted it to. That wasn't it. Knight d2, boss. Knight d2. No, I didn't want to allow that. Okay, one thing I want to stress is when you're playing these chumps, it's important to realize they're just going to be going for tricks. Like, he actually doesn't even have any threats. And it's here when you say you're unsure what to do. What should you do? You should bring your rook in, boss. Bring your rook in. We know for sure that that's something we want to do. And now he's gone. Okay. Good. That looks like mate. That looks like mate. In general, you don't. In general, don't take the pinned piece. So, for example, we should at least consider this move. But you are keeping it simple. That's fine. Yeah, there you go. How could we complain? Check to the miserable king. Let's play for mate. Yes, sir. There we go. That's a Polgar mate right there. Bam! Mr. Ruddy. That's the way to treat him, bows. So, if we go back and think about what you were saying, more games to analyze would be a good thing for you to be looking at. All right, let me check in with the chat. Again, I kind of just, my second screen is toast. I don't know how to fix it. Boomer GM kind of problems. So I'm just checking in once in a while. Okay. So, Summary Mike says I keep forgetting to plug my time in. So, MindVoxel also published a game. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back and check out MindVoxel. So, pop. Oh, darn it. Wait. Do it right, Kraai. Do it right now. I have to see. This is where the Boomer GM has his problems. So, right click. And we go games. And I believe this is the new one. Right, it was just uploaded. We'll mark it as reviewed. We'll check out this time graph. It wasn't there yet. This is a game where I got beaten down pretty bad. Okay, here we go. My coach gave me a lot of flack for this whole knight of 3 thing. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with knight of 3. Okay. Trying to go for the calling. Okay. Still okay. Still fine. Bishop d5, let's just say it's hard to imagine that it's a really, really, really bad move. Right? All right, here we go. Bishop g5, and now he goes here, and you go back. Do you have to go back? Maybe you don't. Maybe you can do other things, but let's just stay with this for a second. I don't know about this for black. It's pop, 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 good. Ooh, what about queen d2, boss? What about queen d2? Aren't we just significantly? I don't know. I don't want to say significantly yet, but maybe actually knight c6 could be a hassle in the castle. This is getting pretty hot, honestly. Okay, let's talk about this. If you get your pawn back and you don't lose the pawn, you should be better because this bishop has some grief. So, knight g5. And again, if they trade in any kind of way, knight d4, they can do that too. Queen b4, knight c2, king d2, knight b4, knight e4, we should be better. So if we're scared about anything, maybe it's this wild f5 move. But that is a very committal move, my friend. And here, I think we make it real simple when we play castles. So I think that would be... I'm not sure let me just say, I hear you're criticizing bishop d5. Maybe it's not the strongest move. My recollection is that cd5 is the move here. But this isn't horrendous, okay? Still, and then, because the problem with queen a5 is they got this tension that they don't really like. And he makes this move. I don't know. Okay. So now I think you're probably going to be worse after knight d2. Queen b3, and then they find this move. Knight d4, pop, pop. And let's look at king d1, but I want to stress I don't think you're lost by any means, because he has to fix his bishop. Bro is just showing off now. No, he's He's not showing off. That's just a simple move. That's just a simple move, and he's showing off. Okay, so I think you're right that king e2. So this was our other option. G3, and to me, oh, it's roughly equal or something. You're doing okay. All right, so here we go. Now, the bummer with this move is he kind of wants to move the knight anyway. But I get it. Our king is not the happiest camper. I guess we're going to call that a sad necessity. E5, good move. Rook E1 can't be bad. Maybe bishop E6 was stronger. Yeah, I think bishop E6 has a little bit more point to it than bishop F5. By the way, I don't think you're toast here. Now, knight C5 is a very frisky move. Given that we have our issues to solve here, the prudent thing to do would be to play B3 and king B2 to get ourselves out of dodge. But this is definitely the aggro approach. Now, are we threatening rook E5? Probably. Yeah. Knight B7 to knight A5. Very nice. Good. Good analysis. So you can see, like, this guy, he didn't do it. He had a great game, and he's kind of letting you slip here. Okay. He takes. In general, I don't like it because your bishop wants to get fixed. In general, I don't like it. Now you play G4 like a madman. Just bishop C2, and you are not worse. You are not worse. I guess I don't know if I'd say you're better, but you're not worse. Rook D4, maybe you are a little worse. B3, rook A8, maybe you're a little worse. But black has not impressed us here. We can play rook E2, followed by king B2, rook over. We're doing okay. Okay, so E4. Good. Not impressive. B3. Now, the move I want you to consider here, I don't know if it works yet, but the one we want to consider is B4. Right? So, does it work? I don't know, but we have to look at it because that's where we have simple dreams. Run, Forrest, run. And as long as he can't get at us, then, and maybe he can, by the way, but this is the one to look at. Maybe, like, for example, the key variation could be snip, snap, papos, rapos, tapos, and then if we do this, he simply takes, and then he can get out. So maybe we can't. We should just be looking to do it. That's weak, I think. Now, boom. Oh, maybe F5. F5 is controversial because he's putting a pawn on the wrong color. Well, maybe we can play this way. All right, rook D4, good. Rook E2, we're going to call that frisky. Rook E2. Okay, E8. And you say, I guess this is fine. Looks okay to me. Uh-oh. Good. Boom. Now, maybe a couple more variations would be good here. And by the way, I've untangled, but I'm just exhausted at this point, and my time is really low. Okay, of course. By the way, when you play this online, you can bring in the times. You just have to hit the share button, boom, and copy and paste it all in there. If I'm playing this game, by the way, I'm gonna play for a win. I think he's pushed his luck here. Now, am I winning here? Probably not. But there's some real questions to be answered here. The first one we want to ask is, what about b4? I don't know. My friends, it's getting hot and heavy over here. Rook c2 would also be a move. Let's make our life simple. Rook c2, just to see. Forced? Maybe. Let's just see what happens here. c6? Forced? Maybe. And it's looking like, I don't know. We got to talk about it. You're not losing. You ain't losing this one. Rook d2's next. Anyways, this is the kind of thing to analyze over here. And by the way, I get it. You're low on time. But that kind of analysis will help you, because the thing that should be of maximum urgency is activity. And what is activity in the rook endgame? It's pushing your past. Boom. Run, Forrest, run. Boom. Notice it's harder now to do it. And rook d7 is more interesting. I agree. By the way, rook f1. What? The guy's insane. Play king e7. Play king e7. What are you doing, buddy? We'll play rook f1 later. Yeah, now he's just pushing his business. Now we're probably toast. You got to be pushing your pawns here, though, bud. You got to go. All right. We're toast. Okay, so mein Voxel, I hope that was helpful. One thing, this is something I'm learning too. When you've got this 30-second increment stuff, it's a skill. Like, I didn't grow up with it, so I'm still learning it. And I'm going to have it at this tournament I'm playing next week. It's a skill, and you need to manage to be calm with those seconds ticking down. It's still actually a lot of time. It's a lot of time. Okay, let's go back. And next up we did Mark Roddy, now Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf says, most helpful for me was the endgame learning. Silliman's endgame course book has been amazing. I was always afraid of the endgame, so I was avoiding it at all costs, but no, I am looking forward to them. Now I am looking forward to them. Yeah. So let's just check in with the evil things people are saying in chat. So, all right. I'm just reading this here. Hupskirt says to my Vox, I was looking at the time usage on the second game you uploaded, but I expect Jesse also mentioned that. And he says, yeah, I think when I cleared the engine annotations, it took the time away as well. Maybe that's what's going on with people. Okay, so the problem with the monitors. So I don't want to say I don't want to get the monitor delivered when I'm away. So I haven't ordered the thing yet. I don't want it to be hanging out, Anyways, but I am gonna get a new monitor for it. I guess I tried cables, dude. DM Hokey never helped me. I did driver updates, dude. The thing kind of seems like it's still working. My computer recognizes it, so why doesn't it show its face? I don't know. No one knows. So let's do another graduate here. Next up, we have Connor Phillips. Oh, wait a second. We got Mr. Wolf still, Bows. We're going to follow Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf has done some tactics tests and checkmate tests. And so far, they have not gone his way. Haven't gone his way. So maybe there's something going on there he needs to check out. Maybe do some more of those tests. We got some clubs. Adult improver. Mr. Wolf, tell us something about yourself. Just something. I don't know. Activity. Maybe we're not going to get a game here. Dude has definitely been doing a lot of endgame and some non-dojo stuff. Okay. Positional chess handbook, doing some stuff outside the dojo, cheating on the dojo. Mr. Wolf has one game. Let's check it out. Mark it's reviewed. Here's the time usage. Oh my God. Now, Mr. Wolf is black. And the good news is it was not Mr. Wolf who did not use his time. Look at this chump he's playing. Basically, they're playing it like a 1 minute game. You know? Look at this guy. Look at all that time he got from his 10 seconds to move. Okay, so here we go. So far, so good. Fine. 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 Yeah. Yeah, I think you're doing good. That move makes me a little nervous, just because bishop e7 feels more solid. Maybe what I would say about this position, which is something to note. White's problem is this knight. How does white get the knight out? So let's pay attention to that in the coming moves. Boom, he does it. I don't like it. Yeah. Now, you can ask yourself, like Kraai, if you're not afraid of bishop f6, why do you want bishop e7? Because someday, I don't want to deal, I want to be able to move my queen, for example. Also, I want my queen to be in contact with this pawn because white might try to open me up on the light square somehow. And so, for example, I think c4 now is something like that is going to be white's best move here. He can also pursue a Lamo plan of d3, knight d2. Okay, so here he goes. Notice he develops our queen. And now the next thing I want you to see is because you haven't castled yet, we want you to play king e7 soonish, right? So the white king is kind of undeveloped now by this fact that he's done it. So he's lost more time than it even seems with bishop takes f6. d4, I don't know. Oh, castles, that's not so bad, but notice, king e7, look at that. That guy's powerful in the middle. Now, maybe this is fine too, but I would be a touch worried about somehow the c file opening on me. Knight d2. I think knight c3 is probably better because that way he can mess with you and then play c4. Good. At least I like the intention. Bring that bad boy in. Maybe the rook can slide too. Getting off the c file. Good move by white. By the way, you have a lot of different moves here. Let's read what you write. I evaluated that d file won't open because of my c and e pawn guarding the d pawn. So I wanted to get my king to the center, perhaps pushing then king e5, king e4. Oh my lord. Yeah, it's a really interesting position. By the way, this is one the old timers probably would have said it's about equal, but I know that the computer is probably going to say black is clear advantage, right? And I've learned to agree with that statement. One problem, a couple problems white has is they're behind in development. Our center control is amazing. Our king is better, and our bishop is better, definitely better than knight. A move I like, there's a lot of good moves here. Like this can't be bad. But also bishop a3 at some point. We don't even have to do it yet, but at some point it's just a nice move to deny any kind of c-file action. Okay, let's look what you did. King d7, c4, rook b8. Okay. Takes. In general, him opening the position is good for you, but notice, well, here you have a nice move with bishop a3. Let's see if you did it. Nice move. I wanted to control the c1 square. Very good. Yeah. But we're missing a move. Frankly, I missed it too, but I don't think it's going to solve their grief because you still get the c file. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. He goes for an e4. Okay. Now, let me just say this is all maybe, and white is in a desperate state. But I don't, in general, believe any of this for your opponent because they're opening the game for you. All right. Now, in addition to king c6, I want to mention rook c5 so that we follow it up by king c6. Okay, let's see what happened. Good. Now we want bishop c5, bishop f8. Okay, so now the position is open. It's bishop versus knight. Enemy doesn't have any weaknesses on the dark square, so my first look was to search how to make some ideas like pushing a pawn. Okay, let's be clear. In these positions, we really, really want to control this square. So the first move we'll look at is bishop c3, but then I think we have to discard it because he's got that nasty move. So then the next move we could look at is king c5, intending bishop c3, but then again I think we discard it after rook c1, right? So then the next move is bishop c5. And we ask white, do you want to let me push? And this is where it gets real spicy, because knight d4 will give us an interesting option. Yes, we can move the king, but we can say this might be welcome to the dojo. This would require some interesting analysis. Here he's got the passive moves, but also the more active moves. The more active moves, then you have to ask yourself, who's winning and why? Now, maybe he is, though, because maybe his king is getting in there. It's pretty hot. Like, look at this. Boom, to cut him off. Boom, and he's barely making it around. But it still might not be. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, it's really close and hot. So look, boom, boom, boom. Check to the miserable king. Oh, no. Oh, that's the analysis we need. Okay. I still think we, in principle, want to play bishop c5. And on knight d4, we just move away. Just move away. All right, bishop f8, g4. Not sure I know what you're doing. Now bishop c5. Let's go. All right. So white doesn't have a plan. You push. Very good. He's going to go after your pawn, buddy. What is he doing? No, that knight isn't coming back. Yes, d3. Yes, d3. Yeah, look at this variation. Go on your journey, Mr. Knight. Go on your journey. By the way, rook d7 looks very strong there, too. And you're talking about king b5, king a3. But let's look, rook d7. It's looking bad. It's looking real bad. Because, like, let's just play knight h6. Here. Oh, buddy, that's a powerful pass, Bow. We're coming in, Bows. We're coming in. Okay, here we go. Rook d7. Now, maybe d3. There was some interesting stuff going on. So king b5 is a mistake because you're not doing anything. So the question is, how do we feel about d3 again? Now, here's a great thing. I did ages ago a vid on rook endgames. And one of the key things to understand is when white achieves the blockading position, that should be a massive deal in our heads for just what it means for achievement for the white pieces. I like this. We're intending bishop g5. We get rid of our weakness, and now you played bishop e7. Engine says that bishop e7 is a blunder, but I don't see why it's so bad. Now, I don't know what the engine wants, but I'll tell you, the thing that I would have been interested in, I don't know. It's a difficult position, honestly. For example, I'm really drawn to this move. Now, it's very hard to evaluate. And if GF, I start pushing. But maybe dude just even plays G5 and then says, hallelujah, I'm coming around. I don't know. But, you know, in this case, at the bare minimum, I can tie him down. Because he can't move. He has, who knows what's happening here? This is complicated, man. It's complicated. Yeah, I don't know. This one's hard to say. All right. So bishop e7, at the minimum, it's just a joy for white to play now. Rook d4, rook e4 looks a little better. I don't understand what he's doing. Could we have played king d5? Okay. Rook b7. I think that's okay. Okay. Check to the miserable king. Doesn't look right. Okay, he's coming around. Well, is the rook active there? Kind of, sort of. Here. All right. Trading pawns in general is what you want. He's just checking around. He's not doing anything. All right. So, white's playing with fire a little bit. That wasn't it. Check the miserable king. Okay. Good. Now, I just want to say, this is the move we want right there. I mean, yeah. I think you should hold this. Uh-oh. All right, there we go. Good. Last comment. The Philidor endgame and also the rook pawn endgame was a new concept for me. I learned from the Silliman's endgame book a few days before this game, and it completely changed how I was thinking about the final positions. I would have played differently and without such confidence once I saw the ideas. Even though this was a pretty bad game for me, I was not better the whole game, but for me it was an amazing game because of the endgame, and that I used what I have learned. I was not perfect, but it gave me a new confidence in the endgame. I was always avoiding them at all costs. Beautiful. I just can't stress enough how many players I've coached who want to do crazy things because they're afraid of the endgame. You know, they'll play wacky openings. They'll go down crazy engine lines and blah, blah, blah. But they're just so terrified of the endgame. And analyzing the game, as you did here, right? This was your first one. It was a very nice first annotation. And you can see that by analyzing your endgame, that's the next step. Because there was a lot of stuff going on in this game. I thought your opponent, by the way, played a very nice sequence to save himself here. Because my first instinct was also bishop a3. And, you know, in hindsight, we should do something obvious, I guess, and play king e7, followed then by bishop a3. Something like that, you know. Even bishop b4 is kind of cool, too, threatening rook c1. It's and if he loses the c file, it's just over. It's just over, man. It's gone. Because our business is our business. In hindsight, too, maybe even f5. Look at that move. His pawn's on the right color. All right, my friends, I'm going to take a little quick break. Actually, first, Let me read any comments from the dojo here. So, all right. People saying some fun stuff. I'm going to take a quick pause and I'll be right back. Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that ain't hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around.
All right, we're back. Let's keep going. And that was Mr. Wolf. And next up is Connor Phillips, who doesn't have much to say, but has done much work. So let's give him a click. Say something about yourself, Connor. Beautiful progress. You are well beyond this 14 to 1500, by the way. You're at 1615. Has done one tactics test. It fits well with their general state. So that makes sense. Now we're going to do clubs. Nope. Activity. Uh-oh, maybe no games. Well, Connor, we want you to come back and give us some games. But you're doing, it looks like, some good endgame work and some tactics. Let's click around here. That's a mating too, so that's good. All right. Yeah, beautiful stuff. All right. So next up, we have George. Oh, did we do? No, we didn't do George yesterday. George says, my rating was slow to increase this cohort, as once you are playing slow dojo games, you don't really want to play anything else. Okay. Finally bit the bullet and spent my Sunday afternoon in the ChessCom Rapid Pool grinding up my rating. Overall, a good time in this cohort. Managed to read a physical chess book for the first time, and the quality of my analysis seems to be slowly improving. Still struggling through the Polgar mates, which are hard work for mate in twos. Did a little non-dojo training alongside. Worked through the chess-based DVD typical mistakes by 1,600 players. I brought shame upon myself and the dojo by doing a bit of opening work on Chessable. Also found a fun way to work on my visualization using the games we're supposed to memorize. Playing through them in my head without a board and then quizzing myself on where all the pawns and pieces are and then what checks and captures are available in the position. If I ever forget the position or it becomes fuzzy, I can just run through the moves again in my head to refresh it. If you have a friend, I'm sure quizzing with them is even more fun. Okay, agreed. Now that you're 1,100, 1,200, Kostya worked hard for you, and I think he says you're allowed 1 hour of opening work. That's what I remember the compromise was. Okay, so looks like ECF. He's got an ECF code. Server error. I don't know what to understand. Lifting heavy things. Nice, George. I'm lifting some heavy things too. 1,100 got up there. Beautiful spike. And I don't know what's going on with your lead chess, buddy. That thing's outrageous. So, clubs. European, UK, beautiful. Activity, looking strong. You're not doing much openings. That's good. It's looking good. And now games. This is the famous, let's do this one. Zone Horse is in the dojo as well. A real arm wrestle of a game. Until my opponent got into time trouble and blundered. We're both pretty solid, safe players, so the matchup is always fun. Played some of my secret illegal prep this game after studying a Chessable course. Sorry, Jesse. Slightly misplayed it, but knowing the ideas helped me get an advantage on the clock. All right, let's look. So, beautiful time usage. Yeah, I'm very happy to see that. That shows that both players are thinking. And if we're to believe Dojo, that then this opening prep got him this little bit of advantage. We'll see how it looks. Let's just say c6 is kind of a weird move. So, bishop g2. The immediate c4 is in the chessable repertoire. Now, what were you afraid of? You're probably afraid of c4 dc. Makes sense. Now c4. Okay. Good. And I'm sure you were rightly afraid maybe of dc4. I think also knight e5 after dc4 is maybe a simpler way of regaining the pawn. Okay. Good. Okay. Queen b3. Okay. You're playing this pretty fast. Now, by the way, as you said, you're not in your chessable prep anymore. You're just making moves. And you're making good moves, too. This one is a little hard to know what to do. My first inclination would be to steal the bishop. Okay, here we go. Queen b3, queen b6, c5. Okay, here we go. Was queen b6 correct? We're about to find out. Castles, b4, and now a move I'm not thrilled with here, knight e4. I feel like the safe move for black is to play a6 here, but maybe he could play knight e4. Okay. If you can achieve b5, that is a very good thing for you. Can you? I don't know. We'll have to see. So, you talk about a bunch of things. You're afraid of recapturing with the b pawn. I'm not sure why. It would be a nice little triangle you'd have going there. You got a lot of candidate moves. Bishop f4 also makes some sense to me. All right, let's see how it played. Rook a3. Not sure I get it. Good move. Is he threatening anything? I don't know. So the bummer is we kind of are inducing him to play a6, which is, I think, what he wants to do anyway. Yeah, and now we kind of have a hard time knowing what... I wouldn't know what to do yet either, because I don't see b5 working for you. Yeah, I don't like it because I don't know what's going on. Now you do this. Okay. I think de5 is stronger. Good note. Okay. Uh-oh, now it's getting hot. Now, you calling that f3 move like a forced move? I don't know. Okay, it's definitely hot. GF, FE, DE, GF. Oh my gosh. Bishop C7. Oh my gosh, the heat. E3. King H8. Now, in general, oh my gosh. This is an odd position. I was about to say in general, black is better. And maybe that's true in general, but there is the question of knight c3 coming someday and you stealing the pawn. I got big questions. King h8, maybe. I don't know about king h8. And knight c3 is coming. Okay, the safe move for black, it's an ugly move, but the safe move is to play bishop g6, knight c3, f5. And he can argue he's better there because of the bishops and yada yada, because the bishop will then later recycle to h5. This is maybe superficial, good move. Good move. Unless there's some tactical reason why you want to play king h1, we should definitely go to the center. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Now, oh, that's a nice move, dog. I think. No, that's a nice move. I might have missed that too. Now, you don't like knight e2. You talk about knight e4. It looks scary. Yeah. Uh-oh. So you're absolutely right about king h1, maybe. By the way, I want to say, I didn't see with king h8, I was like, I mean, maybe. Let's actually just look at this for just a little bit more here. So king f2. Let's say you played king f1. It's still kind of a well, no. I mean, if you win the pawn, see? You win the pawn. Yeah. Okay, king f1 is anyway, looks interesting. And king h1 might also be working too. In general, I don't want to put the king in the side though. Okay, now we have some grief. Boom. Boom. Good survival skills. Good survival skills. All right. Wow, we're in trouble here, huh? And all that, and black just blunders it away. f5. Yep, just blunders it away. Now, did have 30 seconds. I guess the position looks bad. You got nothing going on, and you talk about rook g6. He's got a lot of different moves, honestly, because you can't really. It's very difficult for you to move. Very impressive play by black to tie you down. Zone Horse, by the way, you guys, is part of the dojo. We've gone over his games here too. And that's just unfortunate. That's no good, taking the pin piece. What is he doing? He's lost. So here you can see that he's lost his mind. Now, let me stress. We all blow it with a move like f5, okay? But stronger opponents will hold it together psychologically. Here, black has just gave us everything. Yeah. Rook g5, I like rook g5, yeah. Definitely the simplest option is rook f5, trading everything off and saying goodbye. Well, oh, that's sweet too. Oh, buddy. Oh, man. Yeah. You can tell there's some real psychological frustration to play on in this position, right? Oh, my gosh. Okay, good. And if I never play a rated, that's why his lead chess was so high. Yeah, that's why his lead chess was so high. Okay, so Mojo, a.k.a. George, well done. Second graduation. It's looking good. All right, next up. No, that might be it. No, we got a couple more bows. We got a couple more. Elliot says, I've put quite a bit of work in, did a lot of reading for the first time since joining the dojo, as opposed to just doing puzzles on Chess.com. Followed the program well, although I've really played rapid during this period and have played my first classical and lead chess to date in which I hung my queen. Okay. Let me just check in on chat what nasty things they're saying about me. Yeah. People talking hockey chess dude, playing hockey and music. Yeah, I haven't seen Hockey Chess Dude around for a while. Okay, so let's get back to it. And this is Elliot. Over 40 category from England. Oh, it all happened because of Queen's Gambit. Yep. So, chess has replaced martial arts for me, and I find it more challenging and rewarding than mobile phone games. For sure. Okay. So, congratulations on the graduation. We're going to follow you. We can take a look at the tactics rating. Interesting. Looks good. Clubs. UK. Fine. Activity. And that was 135 hours of work, my friend. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A lot of endgame going on. Some non-dojo. What do they do in non-dojo? Some rapid. Okay. Good. Hopefully we're going to get a game here. And yoked. He's yoked. All right. 30 plus 30. This is how it looks. And we're going to hope that Yoked was completely winning by the time he hit move 28, because he just spiked in time after that. Okay. Pretty interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I like the spirit of the opening fine here. Definitely D3. Definitely D3. I still want you to play D3. Okay. And now you're doing great. You've got a massive position. Look at that pawn structure. Bishop's looking at F7. Everything went your way here. Okay, knight H5. At this level, they are going to refuse to play principled chess. What is the principled move here? He's got to play D6. He's got to. Okay. Knight H5. The knight's not well placed on H5. And so you're absolutely right to criticize Queen D2. Now, you're still doing great after Queen D2. But the thing to realize is that knight on H5 is undeveloped. Right? So you just pull it back. Right? Just pull it back, Queen D2, and we'll see where he goes. But this knight is not going to, it no puedo belong there, as they say. All right, Queen D2. Knight D4, again, not developing. And what happens when they don't develop? They hang stuff like bishop takes F7, as you note in this nice variation. And he's lost. Maybe it makes you a little nervous, your bishop's pinned, but it's clear that we're about to move their queen, and then our bishop is fine where it is. Can just live there, rent-free, for a while. Okay, here we go, knight D5. Oh, no. He blundered it, look. Oh, buddy, 51 seconds. All right, so this is the kind of mistake, that's going to kill us. So one thing I want to stress, this is something I really understand. When we get out of 1000s, right, they are going to not hang so much pieces, though here people are definitely hanging stuff. They're going to give us a lot of time. When they give us time, that is when usually we are going to be able to find something. So you thought a minute, 26 seconds, you have 30-second increment. There's something that smells so bad about what black is doing here that, yeah, we should consider our options. We should believe that he is toast, right? And in addition to your knight D5, let's say you didn't see bishop F7. Well, we still want to take the thing. And whether we play knight E2 or knight D5, we're just got a massive position, right? Even if we don't see bishop F7, that's my point. All right. Huge miss. Why are we taking? You are developing the black queen when you do this. That makes me nervous because now you're in line with the bishop. If you're going to move it, put her there. Queen H5. Okay. D6. Notice the guy is not fixing their problems. All right, here we go. Now, Queen H6 looks good. Devastating also is queen d5. You just win the pawn. Thank you very much. Okay, queen h6, d6. Bam. And now you say bishop e6 is losing. That makes sense to me. He certainly's got his little problems here. I need to think about something here, though. So you're saying king h8, bishop f7. You just take it, though, right? So for sure, king h8. And then if he gets to move again, he plays f6, and maybe he lives. No. Maybe the key to victory is here. And whether it's f6 or f5, we take this one. Yeah. Okay. Another move he might be able to get away with here is queen e5. That way on rook h4, he's got queen g7. And if rook f7, I don't think he's got, I don't think you have what they call the nuts. Maybe you got the nuts. Now, bishop e6 is the threat. Maybe you can, I almost said nut him, but thank you very much, Kraai. I did not. So this might be the end for you here, too. For the end for black. Yeah. And this is the kind of thing where we want to do some analysis. Now, what move are we on here? We're on move 18. He hasn't totally tanked yet. Okay, so bishop e6. Bam. And now you can see, now it's okay, Yoke, that you played quickly here because the guy is completely toast. All right, that was well done. Next up, we got Spotted Dog. Spotted says, just getting back into chess and played my first tournament in 7 years. USCF rating is probably a little lower than my actual strength, but I enjoy going through some of the games in logical chess. Goals for the next cohort is to actually analyze all the classical games I play, as it has been easy to be lazy in doing this. Correct. All right, let's click here. We'll take a quick look at the evil things Mr. Hockey Chess Dude is saying in the chat. Okay, so Abdul says, in the last game, what was wrong with bishop takes e4? It looked like a pawn to me. If bishop check king f1, and I don't see it. Oh. Getting classy. You're probably right, Abdul. You're probably right. Okay. So this is Spotted Dog here. Let's give him a follow. So, USCF, great. Had a nice tournament recently. Cause of the celebrations here. Has done a tactics test. That could be a little higher. Clubs. Louisiana. There we go, buddy. I think I'm in the chess dads and moms as well. Activity. Looking good. That's a nice macro distribution. 55 hours of work to achieve 11 to 12. That's great. Games. Here it is, Mr. Norris. We'll give this a mark. Uh-oh, this wasn't, it was OTB. So I get it. It's hard to bring in the times, but it is possible. It sounds kind of dumb, but at first, when you play an OTB, you can mark your time on your score sheet. And then later when you can bring it here and then put it in. Might seem tedious. It helps you kind of slow down. Also helps you be aware of what the time is while you're playing the game. Small thing. Good. So far, everybody playing okay. Bishop d6 a little weird to me. Good move. Frisky. Okay. CD5, ED5, knight C3. Good. So far, we're playing GM level. Bishop D6 was a little weird. Why? Because Bishop G5 would be harder to meet, and the queen is not in contact with the pawn. Looks soft to me, and you played knight H4. Bishop G5, I'm going to guess, is winning. Oh, what is he going to do? He's going to lose his coconuts is what he's going to do. He's going to lose his coconuts. So, knight H4 looks nice, but you're leaving the center. Good move. And now again, you're leaving the center. Loss of tempo. You want to take on d6 anyway. So what would be correct? Either bishop e7 or knight c6 after knight b5. You notice both of your knight moves, you're going away from the center where the contact in the game is happening. Loss of time by black. Good move. Good move. Frisky. Okay, this looks very incorrect because of rook b1 at some point. h3, what are we doing, buddy? We gotta play rook b1 and take on b7, come on. Oh, now we're losing our mind. So, now, wow, White lost all of his juice. But what was poor by black with this bishop d5 is he has enabled our own knight f5. Now, maybe, can he keep that pawn? e3? I don't understand e3. People are losing time left and right. g6. Okay, stopping knight f5, but giving us the pawn. Okay. Okay. Now we need a good move. Rook b3. So, this is a perfect position to try to analyze our options, right? Rook b3 doesn't feel like we're doing anything because he could just play b6. A lot of ideas here for white. You could aim for g4, g5. This is going to be our stronger side. Very difficult for him to actually win your pawn. So we just need to find a way to make pressure. Weird. And he takes. He says, thank you very much. Well, I don't know why we gave him the pawn. This is allowing rook c7. Now we're setting up a dirty trick. And that was terrible. Look at that. Bam! Now, are we winning? Good question. Good question. I'm going to say it's very close to winning this one. g4. Maybe. I was kind of, maybe. h4 seems pretty good too. Okay. h5. Maybe. There's questions here. h4 looks real problematic for him. There's so many things to look at here, my friends. Look, so you can get that same structure like this. And isn't that more our speed of what we want? Yeah. I don't know. It's hard, dude. Hold on. Let's go back here for a second. So this is a very tricky situation. I was not sure about the g4 move. I don't understand f4. I like rook c3, I think. Okay, Kraai, you got to leave it. It's too complicated. I'm just saying that's where the analysis needed to happen. Good. At least it's a try. Poor. Your king wants to go to g4. Give him a check. Nice. And now king g4. Oh, you were black. Sorry, bud. That was the flippers. So, lots to think about there from both sides. It just had white. You can set who's to move, so I kind of thought you were correct. You were white. Yeah. One of the things to think about here is your opponent, right, lost his mind with knight h4 and then lost his mind with knight b5. He wants to take, so it's a loss of tempo. Notice this might seem like a loss of tempo, but this knight doesn't belong here anyway. Another simple move would just be knight c6. Notice that in the position you get, you get here, it's this essentially the same as what you could get with knight c6. And here you're up a tempo on that position, right? Okay. And your opponent just wasting time. Wasting time. Hey, what is he doing? What is he doing? No one knows. Left this knight out to dry. Oh, God. Didn't take your pawn on b7. Oh, no. Okay, great. Let's get to the next graduate here, and that's typical league. I think that's our last one of the day here. Typical league. Playing OTB for the first time at 24 years old, rated 1350 on Chess.com. Nice, now 1406. 1156, let's give him a follow. Hasn't done any tactics tests. Do them. Clubs, okay. Activity, boom. Oh, typical league. Bows. Bows, where'd you go? Where'd you go? All right, now, I've been doing a terrible thing. Did it yesterday, I'm gonna do it again today. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play just one game of Blitz. Actually, I'm gonna play until I lose. I was very close to 2750. Why I didn't make it? Because these chumps move so fast. And Abdul has never taught me how to pre-move. It's Abdul's fault. VM Hokie said he was going to teach me once. Anyways, a lot of people have said they were going to teach me, and they never did. So I'm just going to play until I lose. We'll see. And then I forgot to raid somebody yesterday. I'm going to raid somebody today. Here we go. Oh, he's thinking about it. I don't know. Interessant, Mr. Boband. Am I afraid of knight f5? Not really. But what are we doing? I don't know. Sure, we'll take it. Bishop d3 seems normal to me. Let's just get a little frisky and see what happens, huh? He should play knight f3, correct. We're just going to play simple chess. I said simple chess, my friend. I will continue my simple ways. Queen g4? I don't know. Yeah. I think I need to take this bad boy. No exchange for you. Uh-oh, did I blow f3? No, I got knight g3. I'm okay. Bam! Oh, does he have it? Oh, shitters. Hold on, don't resign yet. Might be resignable, but we're not going to resign yet. h5. He's just going to play queen h4, buddy. You really stink up the dojo here. Another chump I was beating here. I tried to get too fancy. Oh, man. He just plays... Kraai. That's really disappointing. All right, that was too fast. I get to play again. That was dumb. Oh! It was really Abdul's fault. He was draining me with all those comments. Oh, shit. Oh, man, I didn't see that coming. This is dumb. I'm blowing it here. Thanks for asking him a question, huh? Maybe bishop a6 is my little problem? Jesus. This is terrible. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Ridiculous. Stupid. Why am I playing so bad? I had a couple dumb blitz games earlier weren't this bad. He's got some grief. Darn it, Kraai. Let's just bring our people out, huh? Let's bring our people out. That knight on c8's a disaster. What are you doing, Kraai? What are you doing? Moving around like a clown. He's saying he doesn't care about you. I don't think he cared. I don't think anyone cares about you, buddy. Calling you a chump. His position's nasty, though. Let it be known. Oh, I don't know, man. Oh, shit, what's going on? Let's hit that one. This is just nasty for everybody. No one's happy about this. Pure nasty girls. Nasty, nasty girls. That one, huh? Nasty. Nasty, nasty girls. Okay, good move, I guess. Let's go take his coconut then. You want your coconut to get take? I'm the man to take your coconut. I will take your coconut. Oh. Mama said put it in. Oh, it's not the way she talked. Nasty, nasty, nasty girls. Well, we definitely want to bring in the coconut. Is this a problem for me? Let's pretend we can hide over here. Can we? I don't know. But knight d7 is a hell of a drug. I do know that. Oh, he's coming for you, Bows. He's coming for you. H5. Oh, this could be frightening. What the hell? I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing. Go. I think I'm getting hosed with queen h5, buddy. Well, this is a real sad mess. I'll tell you that. All right, it's legitimately the next game I lose. Legit. I got things to do. Oh, actually, yeah, this is the very last game. Very last game. Okay. Check this game. Nasty. Nasty, nasty girls. Mama said don't take that pawn, but maybe he will. Maybe he will. He's saying no problemo. Well, I think I'll do it. Maybe I blew it again. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is just pure nasty girls here. I am waiting on time. That's something. He's messing with me pretty good. Well, let's ask him to leave. Okay, buddy, what is happening here? There's some possible heat happening for you, bud. Hans aus Deutschland. Queen E8. What the hell's that about? Taking your nuts? No, don't talk like that, Kraai. Okay, I almost blew it with knight d4. Let's get out of dodge here. All right, let's go here. All right, I understand you don't like me. Let's go. Oh, he's threatening knight b4. Oh, that was a bummer for me. All right, go here. Nasty, nasty Jesse. Everyone's playing some side chess here. He goes back to d5 maybe. Oh, here. Come on, Kraai. We need you to have a move here. Right now, it doesn't really look like you got any good moves. Let's go here like a jerk face. Fudge sticks, Kraai. Fuh, I hate you, man. What are you doing? What is he doing? I don't know. Welcome to the dojo. Yeah, buddy. That was horrendous, dude. Oh, whoa, 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 cancel, cancel. Oh, shoot, that was supposed to be my last game. Gosh. That was supposed to be your last, buddy. Wow, he's coming for you, buddy. Was that wise? Maybe not. Maybe he'll queen A1 you or something, bud. Okay. You know what? Let's just give him a little question. Just a little question, boss. Just a little question. Just a little question. All right, that's what we were interested in. Now, buddy, aren't you hosing this animal? Let's go over here. I like it. Oh, man, it's hot. Konstantin Bey. Knight D4. Knight C4. It's going to get wild. I think I'm throwing. Am I throwing? Oh, he decides. Well, that wasn't it, bud. That wasn't it, buddy. Now, how are we going to hose this animal? Don't talk about hosing. There'll be no hosing while I'm here. Let's go here. Maybe I should have had other things going on. I don't know. Let's go here. What? Wow, really? That's very spicy. All right, let's just pretend he doesn't have anything. Maybe he does. I don't know. This could be the end of my little world. I'm messing around here, buddy. You know, it looks lost for him, but you never know. You never know, bud. Okay, he wants rook c7. We're going to hit him with that bad boy. He's going to play queen g8, queen h7. Or no, yes, he will do that to you. Ooh, queen g8, bishop f8 maybe is a strong move. That would be nice. Oh, he's talking. He's thinking. I got to go. What are you doing here, buddy? Oh, I like that move a lot. Uh-oh. Do you? Maybe bishop takes. Wow, this guy keeps coming after me. Oh, gosh. That rook c3 is a hell of a drop. Go. I don't know about that move, buddy. I don't know. I think you're playing with fire here. Good move. That's frightening. Yeah, buddy! All right, you animals, I got to get out of here.